So when it comes to the brand of Amouage, we know that they have some really long-lasting fragrances and a lot of really bold and charismatic fragrances which make them great contenders for the colder weather. Well, in today's video, and this was a difficult list to compile, I'm going to be focusing on 7 Amouage fragrances that I think are perfect for the springtime. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on them, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the top 7 Amouage fragrances for the springtime, these all have a bit of a brighter element to them. I think they can work in these transitional months out of the year. I do want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So let's go ahead and start things off with the first one, which is Amouage's Enclave. Now, this came out some time ago. This one is composed by Julien Rasconet. It does have some darker elements in here, a bit of sweetness, but it opens up with this really bright mint ingredient. It has this very luminous opening that I truly love, but it also has this warmth residing underneath it all. When I'm thinking of spring, it still tends to be a little bit cold outside, so I'm not necessarily thinking of all citrus or all flowers, right? There could be that darker component in there, and as it turns out, Amouage fragrances have a tendency of being a little bit on the dark side of things. Now, of course, there are a lot of other fragrances that are on the darker side of things, containing a lot of woods, but there's something about this fragrance where it's not too dark. It's not smoky. It's not an interlude for men. You're not going to see anything like that in this list. It's not Fate. Fate is overly spicy. You're not going to see that in this list as well. So there were a lot of fragrances where I said there's no way that would make it into a spring or summer list. Something about Honor, I think it has a certain ethereal nature, a certain diffusiveness, not a whole lot of citrus, if I'm being honest, but I think there are some very gentle and smooth woods, a little peppery at times, but I don't think it's too heavy that it can't be worn in the springtime. As a matter of fact, I think it would work very nicely in the springtime. The next one I want to talk about, of course, is Lyric for Men. Lyric, of course, is rose, incense, and lime. Just that combination of citrus and that floral quality. The rose is so natural smelling. I love Lyric so much. It's actually one of my favorites. Rose-based fragrance. Lyric for Men is among the best, especially on the niche side of things. We also have a new release. This one is called Search. Now, Search has all of the citrus in the opening, the neroli, the lemon. It opens up really bright, but it also has a touch of smoke in there. So there's a little bit of smoke. There's some incensey qualities. So it has that anchor to sort of ground a lot of these brighter, more volatile ingredients, right? And of course, that traditional Amouage DNA of a long-lasting, super resolute fragrance, one that has that sort of long-lasting demeanor about it, because all Amouage fragrances give me 10+ hours of longevity. I don't think I've encountered any exceptions so far, and I've tried a lot from the brand. The next fragrance I want to talk about is actually marketed for women, but I love this one. This is a gardenia and lily-based fragrance, and this one is Figment for Women. Now, this fragrance is really special in my opinion. The gardenia, the ylang-ylang, there's papyrus. There isn't a whole lot of citrus in here, but that floral quality totally puts me in the mindset of spring. When I think of springtime, I think of flowers in bloom. So whenever I can find something that's a little bit floral leaning, of course, I'm going to include it in a list such as this. Figment for Women is a beautiful fragrance. Love the color of the bottle. Of course, we also have a classic and one that I've been talking about for many years. I've owned multiple bottles of this stuff. This one is Reflection for Men, and of course I have the old presentation with the non-magnetic cap. This stuff is bright, the neroli, the spices, the rose. You can tell it has this very interesting personality about it. And Reflection for Men, of course, people talk about it as though it's like the niche version of Le Mal by Jean Paul Gaultier. It doesn't have the lavender, at least I don't remember it having lavender, vanilla, or whatever. It's very bright, very diffusive, kind of spicy, a little bit floral. Perfect for the spring months. As a matter of fact, this could have been #1 on my list, but there's another fragrance on this list. It has ivy, it has citrus, It has a lot of woods. It has this herbal quality that's really peculiar, and I just love everything about this fragrance. It's super long lasting. It has enough of that bright freshness in the opening that is to die for. And of course, if you've tried this one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It gives you that burst of energy in the springtime. It also smells very clean. It has this sort of contemporary masculine demeanor about it, but it has enough of that earthiness. I almost want to say I get like this oak moss patchouli thing. It might not be listed in the note breakdown. I know ivy is, but this fragrance, of course, is Beach Hut for men. There's the women's counterpart too, if I'm not mistaken, but the men's version specifically, the citrus, the green qualities, the woodsy qualities, it has that long-lasting appeal on account of those earthy tendencies that make it a long-lasting fragrance, but it also has that brightness in the opening that makes it so energizing and effervescent and perfect for the springtime. Beach Hut for Men is one of my favorites that the brand has to offer. I can't, sing enough praise about it. I think it's truly, truly, truly special. And if you have the opportunity to get your hands on a sample, or if you can try it in a store somewhere, I would highly recommend that you get your nose on it, because I think it's truly one of the brand's best. And for this type of a DNA, for the brand to make it last as long as it does, I think it's super impressive. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. 7 of the best Amouage fragrances for the springtime. Of course, this is a brand that makes some powerhouse fragrances perfect for the colder weather. So to try to sort of curate a list of fragrances for the hotter weather was a bit of a challenge, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you took something of value from this video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell, and once again, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget, it would greatly assist with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.